There are no conditions, right? There are no conditions. All I'm asking you to do is to start the process of devising around the data, see where it takes you, okay? Really just see where it takes you, okay? At some point, you're going to produce a piece of theatre. It doesn't have to be perfect, it can be a work in process. But it's your opportunity to actually try and put in some of the learning that you've had over the past 2 days, to consolidate that in your practice. But also, it's an opportunity for you to link in with what fits in and connects with your own embodied living values as individuals.
Can I ask a question? So we're meant to be reenacting this, or I don't really understand what.
Lots and lots of ways that we could
Because I'm not
respond to whatever the task is.
Yeah.
Well, I think that
Yeah, I don't.
This is what really interests me as well, like, sorry. Like how we turn a quote, that's a little section like this, into an actual piece of theatre representing research.
Why are we doing that? Like, to what end? Like, because I was just thinking as you were talking, because obviously this is somebody's words. This is Nick's interview with this guy, and he's talking to Nick about his fighting and how he feels about his fighting. And is that what we're trying to get across to our audience? Or are we putting our own spin on it, like you were doing, and saying, because this guy didn't mean it to have multiple meanings, he didn't mean it to be able to resonate with other people, this is just what he felt. But then we come along and put our own kind of interpretation on that. Is that, I mean, what?
I think it's two issues there. One, how I see it anyway, is that he's communicated it and someone's written it down, but we're always going to interpret it anyway. Like, we are inherently ingrained, like just because we've read it, we all have our own interpretation. We can't get away from that interpretation. And I think how I see a process like this, but I know there's different interpretations of the process, would be there's an experience there which we want to communicate, and that theatre may be a more like more effective or efficacious form than necessarily reading it out. So it's more a way of communicating, if that's one route, communicating the experience through this guy's experience through theatre, and our analysis is the bits that we choose to be important. But as researchers, our analysis is inherently biased, but there's no way to get away from that. So that's how I kind of see it, and I'm not sure it came out very well. But,
No, it did.
But that's how I see what stuff that we've done past day and a bit. But someone else might have a different view.
My question I have though is like, these are the actual words that you said, and if we're saying we don't necessarily have to stick to the words that you said and like do something different with it, like if we're representing this as this research as a piece of theatre, I mean, to what extent do we have like creative license to manipulate what you said and turn it into something else? Because then maybe it's not an authentic representation of what he's actually said.
My view is that it would be based on the data or the themes that come out, and as a researcher you get to apply that to it. Like, I think it's the role of the researcher to base it somewhat on the data or the experience there, whether like not necessarily transcript of the experience you had with the actual interview, and like how you know like holistically from your research experience, but and then translate that into like themes that come out and express those things that come out from the data, as opposed to kind of things that isn't in the data or isn't in.
Okay, let's work on one theme. And let's do something creative. So you're not being disrespectful to the original data, nor are you saying this is the fact.
Right, I see.
Okay, so there are, and you can play with any of that and think about what it. So you might look at the whole piece and say, well, okay, there's a couple of themes emerging there. Yeah. So why don't we say, let's go for bullying. You know, let's create something that's informed by our research, but is actually about bullying, because that's what we've identified that this is related to in some way.
Where does the theory come in? Like, how do you relate that back to theory then?
In what respect?
In terms of we're actually having theory, because otherwise it's just you picking out your interpretation of what's happening.
Yeah, but you're not doing that. Isn't your end product in terms of a piece of research? It enhances your research.
I
think also there's a space for a research question within this half an hour, or within what we're doing, isn't there? Because you said to what end and why, and there are Sean gave us some really good useful things for that nursery rhyme, which was think about your audience. So if we are going to do this, who are we doing it for? Are we doing it for each other, or do we want to imagine that we're doing something to present to a conference, and who's at that conference? Are they martial arts practitioners, or are they people? Are they psychologists? And what is it that what is our question that we're asking? Is anxiety healthy, for example, or is and that's why we're doing. What does it create something? Our response, our theatrical piece is a response to a mission. Yeah, is that a thought? And then it's not just a sort of creative reflection on what we've read. It's us investigating this theme.